Salute! This is Wild Country Daily Entertainment, and this article is from Washington Post. The Washington Post. They are saying Iran has jammed Starlink, which is protesters' lifeline. They say Musk say that Trump and Musk says that will not stand. So let's get into what the article's saying. Why? Why does this matter? Why did Iran cut the internet? Why is Trump and Musk so worried about restoring the internet? Why do we need to, how can I word it? Why do we need to, why do the politicians think that they need to intervene when something's going on in another country? Why can we never let their country or whoever country battle whatever problems they have out in their country like we do here? Do we see China and Iran stepping in our protests and saying, whoa, 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 whoa? You know, what about when they cut the internet off here? Is China and Iran going to be like, oh no, we need to restore the internet, so we're going to put our internet in? Do you see that going on? Do you think that's going to happen if that does happen here in America? Do you think when our protests get so bad in America and our government shuts our internet service off, do you think any other country is going to come to our rescue? Ask yourself that. And if the answer is no, then why should we be going and saving other countries when they're going through problems? Let them handle their problems out. Let them fix their solution. Let them come up with a problem reaction solution instead of us trying to find every problem solution and reaction for them. But who am I to say? Take that with a grain of salt, right? So they say Trump has agreed to Elon Musk to help Iran protesters circumvent a government-imposed internet blackout. They say, underscoring the frontline role Musk's satellite company, Starlink, is playing in U.S. foreign policy. They say Iran's government disconnected its 90 million people from the internet on Thursday in a drastic effort to quell massive nationwide protest. So the government must be tired of their own people protesting. Well, if they're tired, they're going to cut the internet out so the outside world can't see. What comes next? Who knows? We're blind to seeing what's going on because they cut the internet off. Hey, that's their doing. They want to do that? Let them do it. Let them get their protesters in order. Quit trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho for every country. Let them figure their own problems out, right? That's how I think. Excuse me. But they say the internet blackout, man, they say the internet blackout extended to a partial jamming of the Starlink satellite service, with people in Iran have been using to circumvent official internet censorship, organize protests, and communicate with the outside world. So, you do that to somebody else's property, that's not a good look. Come on, you should know that. They say the White House press secretary Caroline told reporters Monday that Trump has spoken with Musk about restoring Starlink internet in Iran. They go on to say the issue was escalated internally to Musk at SpaceX over the weekend. They say with Musk saying he is fully on board with efforts to restore connectivity in Iran. They say his engineers. They say his engineers to work on a solution according to a person familiar with the matter, who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss closed door discussions. They say SpaceX, Starlink's parent company, did not respond Monday to a request for comment. Well, yeah, the parent company of SpaceX, Starlink, probably doesn't want nothing to do with this problem because they probably know more problems that are going to come with it. They say Starlink is pretty much the only way to connect. Well, yeah, because nobody else wants to do it. Nobody else wants to stick their nose into it because they know if they do, then maybe more chaos could come their way. I don't know. But they say net freedom pioneers of the technologies rule for protesters in Iran, it's been very critical. All these videos and pictures that have come out in the past few days have been sent out through Starlink. So why Iran, why is this protest in Iran different this time than any other time? Well, let's take a listen to this clip.
More than 2 weeks ago, protests began in Tehran over a collapse in the country's currency, the rial. Iran has had several rounds of protests just since 2017, averaging around one every 2 years or so. So why is this round of protests different? They were initiated by the country's bazaar or merchant class. And that was an indication, experts told me, that economic devastation and suffering in Iran has really reached beyond the lower classes or even the lower middle classes. There's no clear way for the government to really fix Iran's economy, and protesters' demands.
That almost sounds like America. I mean, compared to protests in the past, protests now are becoming of low class and middle class people not being able to make it, not getting screwed over, just more tax burden on us, just different avenues. It almost sounds like what America is going through or has gone through.
Quickly grew beyond just economic concerns and into far more political.
Well, here in America, it's economic concerns. It's, you know, the demands that they want us to go through, like with the with the cashless society, with the digital thing. Do you think we're good with that fundamental change? No. Do you think we want to go that route? No. What about the robots that they want to push out? That's another fundamental demand change. And do you think we want that? No, but they're going to go through with it anyhow. And that's why we are protesting more and more. And that's why these protests are getting out of hand more and more in America.
These protests are different is the sheer size of the demonstrations that we've been seeing. The government has responded to these protests in two major ways: by unleashing deadly force all across the country and by cutting off communications into the country. There are some activists and people inside Iran who have been circumventing.
Remember back in 2020, 2021, whenever we had them protests, them Black Lives Matter protests and this and that? I remember it was getting out of hand and people were saying, oh, they're going to cut the internet off. Well, how close do you think they were to do it then? And how close do you think they might do it now with that Minneapolis thing? And if it goes, and if these protests grow nationwide in our country, do you think we're going to be getting the internet cut off then? I don't know. Wait and see.
The ban via Starlink terminals.
We may get the internet going, if that's possible. We may speak to. I'm going to leave the rest of the link to this article in the description, so if you want to go look at it and reread it, you're more than welcome. The link will be in the description. Make sure you hit the like and share the video far and wide. And thank you for stopping by and viewing my content. Peace out.